Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Rahman, and my topic for video assignment is development of literature in Mughal Empire. In introduction, I would like to give a basic overview of literature. Literature is derived from the Latin word literatura, which means learning, writing, or grammar. Coming back to the definition, literature is any collection of written work. And if you look towards the definitions of literature over the years or centuries, we can see that prior to the 18th century, anything that was written was regarded as literature, whereas after 18th century, we can see that the idea was shifted, and any literature was defined as anything written in imaginative form. After some development in the 1910s and 11s, it was termed as the best expression of the thought, best thought reduced to writing. Coming to the importance of literature, the value of literature cannot be denied, as it shows the moral, social, and religious values of a group of people, a single people, a person, a community, or a country as a whole. Saying that literature plays no important role is certainly a misunderstanding, as it can be used to read and analyze the livelihood and the structure of any society or culture. Coming to the literary works in Mughal Empire, and starting with the very first king of Mughal Empire, Babur, it was reported that he was a great patron and lover of literature, especially in Persian language. Although we cannot say that his love was limited only to Persian language, as his very own biography, Tuzuk-i-Babri, was written in Turkish language, which was later translated in Persian. Also, we can see his love for Persian language, as he had encouraged all the writers and poets who used Persian language, and set certain amounts of rewards for them so that they would continue to encourage use of Persian language. Other than Persian language, he also encouraged other writers and poets belonging to different regions, thus giving the fact that he did not only prefer Persian language but wanted to encourage literature as a whole on every aspect and field and language. Moving on to the second emperor of Mughal Empire, Humayun also contributed a lot in the field of literature. He was a good reader and writer in Persian language, and also had several talented writers and poets in his own court who would recite their writings to him on a daily basis. One of those writers was her own sister Gulbadan Begum, who also wrote Humayunama, which detailed different events in the life of Humayun. Other than that, one of the most important contributions from Humayun was establishment of different libraries and schools. He also converted a significant portion of Sher Shah Suri's old fort in Delhi into library, which can be regarded as one of the most important reforms in the time of Humayun's era. Coming on to the third Mughal emperor and Mughal Empire, Akbar, his era can be regarded as one of the most influential and golden period in the development of literature, especially in Mughal Empire, as many different languages such as Sanskrit, Hindi, and Persian were extensively worked upon. Coming back to Akbar, as a child he did not receive formal education, due to which he was regarded as illiterate, but due to his passion of learning, he overcame this boundary. Fondness of Persian calligraphy is one of the attributes of Akbar, as he was very fond of calligraphy and the different styles in Arabic in which verses of Quran were written in. Talking about services provided to literature in his era, one of the major literary works can be regarded as the translation of two Hindu epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana, were done in his era. Also, another major service to literature can be regarded as the reforms in Royal Library, as many thousand books were added in the Royal Library, which were quite unmatched to other libraries of different eras in that time. Coming on to the fourth emperor of Mughal Empire, Yangir. Yangir had strong educational foundation, as he was very well educated from a very early age. Compared to his forefathers and father, he wrote his own autobiography named Tuzuk-i-Jahangir, which was later converted into English by a famous British scholar named Henry Beveridge. Paintings also gained importance under the era of Jahangir, as many new pieces were painted. Mostly that were done in traditional Central Asian and Indian style, but some influence of European styles can also be found as it was newly introduced. Jahangir also had interest for calligraphy, and he had fondness for different calligraphic styles written in verses of Quran. Moving on to the fifth emperor of Mughal Empire, Shah Jahan was like his parents or grandparents or forefathers, was different as compared to their literary interest. For example, his forefathers were more interested in paintings, drawings, music and such, whereas Shah Jahan was more interested in traditional Islamic learning and arts, which included calligraphy, literature, theology, and also the construction of mosques, forts, and mausoleums. In his era, Indo-Persian literature flourished as different regions such as Delhi, Lahore, and Kashmir became established centers of learning, and different people from different fields came to hold discussions here. Moving on to the sixth emperor of Mughal Empire, Aurangzeb, who was also interested in Islamic subjects and literature. Some sources report that this era can be regarded as the decline of the literature of Mughals, mainly due to the reason that Aurangzeb was more involved in conquest and suppression of rebellions rather than other activities. Despite all this, some honorable mentions can be found, such as Fatwa-e-Alamgiri, which was a selection of compendium of Islamic laws, and also some tafsirs of Quran, as well as commentaries on ahadith, which were added to the royal library. Other than that, another honorable mention would be to Aurangzeb's eldest daughter, Zebun-Nisa, who was very educated and had a strong educational foundation from a very young age. At the age of 14, she started poetry and also was later known for her beautiful calligraphy in both Naqsh and Nastaliq forms. She also commissioned scholars to produce texts on subjects she was interested in for very large salaries.